Welcome to Gould Engineering's presentation of the Gould Bazooka gravity-powered Gould recovery system. This is a new concept in dredging. Instead of using gasoline-powered equipment, this is using Mother Nature. We just take a head of water and run it down a separate pipe. And that pipe goes to a Venturi system, and you can see Joe has the nozzle there. That's where the gravel, gold, black sand enters in to the nozzle there. That goes into the Venturi device, which develops the power needed. Below that is the Gould Bazooka recovery system. And so he's demoing the device right now, and as he pulls back on the shot there, you can see we're in a heavily dense area of growth with grass and weeds and what have you. The bazooka's in the foreground. You can see, maybe we get a better shot, but there's the nozzle right there. On top was the old pump system that supplied water, but now it's just a handle. So all we're just using it for is just a conventional nozzle, and the water is actually developed through 100 feet of 4-inch polystyrene tubing, which goes up to a little pool of water. And you can see there's no creek bed there. The water's pretty low right now. It's probably only maybe 12 inches wide, so we're a little shy on water, but for demoing purposes there, we got a little bit of power to run the device. Not an ideal situation, but at least it gives you an idea to how it works. The recovery system is 5 inches in diameter. It's a 5-inch nozzle, 5-inch dredge hose, and it goes into a 5-inch Venturi, which we call a gravity generator. And the gravity generator is hooked to the input of the Gould Bazooka, which also happens to be a 5-inch recovery device with a nugget drop on the very rear, which will be in the foreground. That black thing that is a corrugated material. Then the white thing with the handle is actually the Gould Bazooka. That's where all the magic is done. And it separates the gold and black sand. All the useless rock and trash goes right on through the device, and the actual gold and black sand is stored in a compartment. Inside, once it goes into the compartment, it'll stay in the compartment until you do a cleanup. And in a cleanup, there's a 3-inch plug in the bottom, and you open that up and let the water run through it into a 5-gallon bucket. And it's a pretty simple device, actually. And Joe Long is showing his skills there. He's run this dredge many times, and this is a new concept. I invented this system, and finally got around to building one. I've had the idea, experimented with a lot of different things. The first time I experimented with it, instead of using that smooth tube, I used the corrugated tube, which was didn't work out all that well, because if you get any rock in it at all, it all stays in the corrugated tube. Plus the water doesn't flow down very easily unless you got really a good head. With the smooth tube, everything, rocks or anything, would just wash right through there. And in this case, we've only got probably less than a foot of head, and the head is how high you raise the far end of the tube, and you need at least 3 feet. 3 feet will give you 1 psi, which isn't much. Normally So you can see the water's coming out right now. We let it pool up in a pool, then released it, so it's still a fraction of the water that we really needed to run it, but it does create a little bit of suction. And so anyway, when it runs down that tube to the right, it goes into the Ventura. That becomes the jet for the Ventura. So that 100 feet of pipe is the Ventura, and the pipe to the left is actually the input where the gravel comes in through the nozzle. So they mix in the output of that Ventura generator, which goes in, like I say, into the input of the Gould Bazooka recovery system. So it's a fairly, the bazooka itself is fairly benign. You could run fish through there all day long and it wouldn't hurt them a bit. They'd go right through it because there's no moving parts in there. It's a simple recovery system, but it is unique. It's a gravity trap system. It's not like any other system that has ripples and what have you. This is a very unique. It just uses gravity, and this is my own invention. I invented it probably 7-8 years ago, and I just got around to doing the gravity. It is the only short side to it is the sewer light is fairly, those little tubes are probably less than a couple pounds each, but still they're kind of bulky to haul them in. But my granddaughter was actually helped haul them in, so the stuff is very light. I should have put some more pictures of it in there, which I forgot to do. But so right now he's got some gravel, and he's going to demonstrate his skills in panning. And so he's going into a little pool of water there. And first thing he does, he has the pan in the where the ridges are in the bottom, and that keeps the golds and black sand together. And the object is to slowly work that out to where you get rid of your overburden, which is the unwanted sand, rock, the useless material that you don't want. So you just swirl around, shake it, and let the water do the work. The water actually carries out that unwanted material. Gold's 19 times heavier than specific gravity of water, so the gold will go right to the bottom of the pan and lodge in those little ridges. And if he just keeps working that, and you have to be careful at this point. If you get too zealous, you'll just pan out your gold and it'll fly out through there. So you want to just work it slowly, and the rock is the hardest thing to get out. And I just with the swirling of the pan, use a little centrifugal force, and the force will actually help. Because the rock itself probably has a specific gravity, probably about 3, and where black sand's about 5.5, and gold, like I say, is 19. I mean, it's 19 times heavier than the weight of water, so it'll pretty well stay in that pan, but you can sling it out, so you just have to be careful. And he's gaining on it there. He's getting rid of it, and I usually stay in the water most of the time. I'm not up and down, but I got more years on me than Joe does. He's a lot younger than me, so now he's getting down there. You can see he's and it doesn't look like he's got any gold, because we didn't stop to take it out of the bazooka. We actually just dug some out of the ground there just for a demo. I was running short on daylight here, and I wanted to finish up the video, so we'll do our cleanup later on, but just wanted to give you an idea of the panning. And you see towards the last there, he's got a lot of black sand. Well, that black sand is what usually holds the gold. So that's what he's eyeballing there, looking for the little flakes. But like I say, most of the gold's probably in the bazooka itself because it'll be trapped in there. But the other thing too was it's all hooked together with the generator, and you have to take a screwdriver and undo the rubber clamps on there. So like I said, I just didn't want to take the time. But she's got a lot of black sand in there, and there's probably the little small flakes in there. He was getting cold. It was starting to. It was about 4 o'clock, and it was starting to get a little chilly down in there. The sun is very bright where the spots are, and then when you get out of the sun, it's dark and cold. There's so many trees around there. It really throws off the camera. When it sees the shade, it opens up the iris, and these are just some more still pictures, and this kind of concludes our presentation. So there's my website, and at the bottom is the email. You can send me your comments, and that's about it. So thanks for watching.